Good afternoon. I want to thank everybody who joins us in Ukraine Media Center Ukrinform, both in this studio and online. Today we're having a special event, the presentation of songs and draw of the finalists for the national selection of the Eurovision Song Contest 2023, and I want to present Anatula, our moderator. Hello everybody, we're gathered here to present the songs for the contest of 2023 Eurovision contest. We will have a draw, we will find out the numbers our finalists will be presented, and I want to present our speakers, Oksana Skybinska, the head of Ukrainian delegation on Eurovision Suspilne, Dmytro Shurov, also known as Pianoboy, music producer at the national selection for the Eurovision Song Contest 2023. Our next guest is Borys. My apologies, I have a delay with my phone, it happens. Borys Pustovyi, project manager for the production of the television version of the final round of the national selection, Starlight Production, and Denis Ivanov, implementation team lead at Diia. And I want to present first Oksana Skybinska. This year, Ukraine won Eurovision 2022, and though Eurovision 2022 will be happening in Liverpool, in Britain, not in Ukraine, but it will be happening with Ukraine in the hearts. And it's very important how Ukraine will be presented in the international arena now that Ukraine demonstrates its resilience in different fronts, including musical fronts, and how our voice will be heard in international arena is very important. And Eurovision is one of the biggest contests in the world, and for sure the biggest one in Europe, is a very important platform for presentation of Ukraine. This is why it's very important to have the national draw during this year, and it's happening under extraordinary circumstances. It's important in a number of aspects because, first of all, it's happening during the full-scale war in Ukraine, and it will be happening in the shelter because it's very important that all the participants and all those present in the studio are secured. Ukraine will be the first among the participating countries who will have a national selection. We will set the bar in the extraordinary circumstances, and this year's selection will have some novelties that us as a Suspilne did all we could to reinforce. For example, we will apply Diia application, where all the voting for the jury is already posted, and it's important for us that Ukrainians can get engaged to the maximum extent to identify the jury who, together with the Ukrainians on the 17th of December, will define who will represent Ukrainians in these extraordinary times in international arena. We will cooperate during the final round of national selection for this, to have this vote in a most reliable possible way, so Ukrainians get engaged to the maximum extent. Another intense reinforcement of the national selection is identification of the musical producer, who is Dmytro Shurov, also known as Pianoboy, who inspired a number of Ukrainian artists in these difficult times, who inspired to create new songs and get engaged in this national selection. So we want to thank Dmytro for this hard work he had done and keeps doing together with the artist. And I want to pass the microphone to Dmytro so he presents the songs that we will be hearing today. For what I understand, the press conference is something like a concert, like a show, but there is no applause between the songs. First of all, I want to thank our armed forces, our soldiers, our fighters, our warriors, because thanks to them we can have this selection, we can create music, and thanks to them Ukrainian musicians can continue making music. Who could have thought back in March or April that we would be able to sit here and discuss the plays for final round and participants, the songs, and so on and so forth. So on behalf of all the musicians, I want to thank them. So as long as they exist, we exist. Well, generally, this selection is really unique and special, and it could have not happened. And its uniqueness is in the fact that, in my opinion, now in Ukraine, certain clearing is happening, clearing of old schemes, old approaches, and these are the times when new people, when the self-made people have more chances. And I'm quite humbled by the fact that our selection, our long list, our final round, they all reflect those processes. We have a lot of new names, and it's important, and it's pretty cool. It's fine because people who are finalists are self-made people. They are self-made musicians who live with music. It comes from their souls because there's no other way they can do it. They live without investments, and it was very important for our team that regardless the shellings, the power shutdowns, some motivational problems, emotional bottom the musicians are at, they created those tracks, they continue to prepare, they get continue being agitated, they are being locked in the room somewhere where I was just told Eurovision is a complicated process, complicated contest. It's called like Welcome to Show Business. I think that each and every one of them will represent Ukraine decently. And two more words about our diligent Ukrainian audience. Our society is very dynamic. Everybody has their own opinion. But please remember that, first of all, these musicians, they need your support. We like to find enemies about our own community, in our own community, but we have to find favorites now, and I'm sure that every Ukrainian will find favorites among the presented musicians. I would like to concentrate, I'd like to focus on the fact that Ukraine does not have to prove anybody that we're Europe. We understand it pretty clear. And in the same way, Ukrainian music is part of world music. It was just not yet heard by the wide, broad audience. It gives the opportunity to the honest, modern Ukrainian musicians to say their word, to deliver their message to the world. And now it's time when real professionalism takes over the old schemes, and our selection is part of this process, and I'm humbled by this fact. That's pretty much all. Oh no, I want to add a few more words. There are many cool musicians who did not made it to the final round, but I want to say my hello, and I want to ask you to listen to them, like Lilu 45, Cipher Black, The Tactics, Shy, Serene, a new singer, Trevor. All these names, they say that the next round of selection will be very cool. Ukrainian music doesn't stop. It keeps creating new works, new names, and it's real cool. Should I present each and every one of them? Thank you. Oh, is that it? Well, I can keep talking for a very long time because I know the subject, but I think they will present themselves with their music. So I want to thank all the musicians, our warriors. I want to thank the team for the trust and for letting me making my input in the process. Thank you for these wonderful comments. I fully agree with Dmytro Shurov. please listen to the long list of our participants, because it's worth it. If you wanna get familiarized with it better, please watch our vlog in our website. And now we want to proceed to the presentation of the finalists with the short segments of their songs. You can watch them in full in our YouTube channel, Eurovision channel. And I want to invite the band Two Tone to this studio. Let's wait for the video. The delays happen. Then we invite Angelina. Well, the sun is not on, so let's wait for the sun. I want to invite our next finalist. It's DEMCHUK. I want to invite the fantastic FIINKA. And now we want to invite the representative of Heil, because she is currently on study in America, for what we understand. We want to invite to our studio the finalist who was already in our selection, and now she's back again, KRUTઃ. Our next finalist for Eurovision Song Contest selection is Moisei Bondarenko, or just Moisei. Our next finalist, who will sing the song in the final round of selection of Eurovision 2022, is Oi Sound System. We will present our next artist. Is Tember Blanche. And the finalists who already were finalists, and we're happy to see them in this round of national selection, is the band TVORCHI. Well, meanwhile, our spectators assess these segments of the songs in their comments. I want to pass the microphone to Borys Pustovyi. We will be happy to hear you. Hello, everybody. Hello, dear finalists. Our strength is in unity, and the evening when in the heart of the capital, in the shelter, there are 10 artists will fight for the right to sing on behalf of Ukraine should become a moment for the Ukrainians to join even more, no matter where they were born or where they live now. Whoever walks out on scene on that evening will fill the heart of the country with the light of their sun, the light which will take over the darkness. And by that we want to say that in the heart of Ukraine, in the center of Ukraine, deep underground, our heart is beating, regardless the war, regardless the horrors and the tribulations. Our music is playing, our music is on. It's difficult times, and our team, together with the directors, we will try everything. We'll try to do everything we can to provide the brightest shows for these artists, for these bright artists. Thank you. Thank you to Tone applauded. Best of all, thank you. We pass the microphone to Denis Ivanov. Please tell us how the voting will be going on during the national selection. Good afternoon, everybody. Greetings. With the beginning of this victorious way, Ukraine is winning in a number of fronts, in musical front, in digital front, and first the Eurovision 2022. Every Ukrainian was able to see through Diia application, no matter where they were during that time, whether in Ukraine or abroad. This year, through Diia, Ukrainians could vote for the jury, and more than 3,000 citizens did it very confidently. And on 13th of December, every Ukrainian who has Diia application on their phone and who is above 14 years may vote for their favorite to represent Ukraine in Liverpool in Eurovision 2022. We continue digitalizing the country in all its aspects. So listen to Ukrainian music, support Ukraine, glory to the heroes. Thank you to Tone. Thank you. And let's proceed to the most interesting part of our press conference, to the draw. And the head of the delegation, Oksana Skybinska, will explain how it will be happening this year. We're aimed at making it, organizing the most equal, most fair conditions for all the participants. This is why we established a draw. The finalists go in alphabetical order, and every finalist may be able to select their number from 1 to 2, under which the finalist will eventually act during the final round of national selection. So please welcome to the draw. I think that the directors of the national selection don't like it a lot, but it will happen how it will. So we invite Teton to pick their number. Is he lucky or what? Well, I have a lucky hand. Number 9. 9 or 10? It's 9. Thank you. 9 or 10? Well, it's a joke. Well, we invite Angelina next. Or maybe it's 6. No, it's our logo over there. It's 9. Everything is correct. It's 9. 8. Number 8, Angelina. Good luck. DEMCHUK, please, welcome. Pick your number. Is it gonna be 7? Seven. 3. Number 3. DEMCHUK will be participating under number 3. Next is FIINKA. Please. Number 5. The representative of Jerry Heil. We wish you good luck. Yana is with us. Oh, hello, I'm right here. Can you see me? Which number do you want to pick? Well, it doesn't matter because we're already picking it, so thank you for joining us. Number 4. Number 4, Yana. Thank you. Yana, are you happy with that? Oh, yes, I'm happy in any case. Thank you, Yana. We invite KRUTःi next. Is it a number? No, it's not. She's mixing something. I don't know what's going on. 9 or oh, is it 6? Number 6. We invite Moisei. No, wrong thing. That's the right thing. Number 1. Please, we invite sound system. Should I read the prayer? Well, there is no 9. Well, it's 2. Number 2. Thank you. We invite Tember Blanche. TVORCHI are agitated too. Number 7. And the most mysterious number comes to TVORCHI. Number 10. We hope that this time TVORCHI will dance. Thank you. We hope that everybody is happy with the draw, or maybe not, but you will tell about it later. Thank you for this press conference. The next part is the questions from the journalists. I pass the mic to our moderator, Olga. My name is Anna Tuleva, the moderator of Eurovision. Please, dear friends, greetings with the results of the draw, dear colleagues, journalists. I'm sure you have some questions. You can ask your questions from both speakers and our artists. So if you do have questions, please let me know. Good afternoon, Svetlana Tkachuk, Ukrinform. I have a couple of questions to both organizers and to the finalists. First of all, the question to the organizers. What are the special things that we had to implement, or you had to implement, that you will continue using during the contest? For example, waiting for the next years for the voting in India about the jury selection and so on and so forth. Well, from the very beginning, we have to summarize the national selection to be precise about the next year and how to have the next year's selection. But at this phase, we can say that we're happy with the way the voting happened for the jury. The voting for the jury happened, and I think that we will get back to this idea next year to give Ukrainians this opportunity to get engaged in mass for selection of not only representative but to the selection of the jury as well. We are happy with the cooperation with Diia application. Well, this year we will continue working on it for sure. You had questions to the artists too. Yes, the artist, I had two questions. It was too much of you. Since it's too much of you, so can you tell me why you should be the one to represent Ukraine during Eurovision contest? Well, say it. Let's go in alphabetical order or just whoever wants. Why is it you specifically who should represent Ukraine in Eurovision? No, this is not the way you can answer that you will not. Maybe say it later. I think that I have to represent Ukraine in Eurovision because I'm the representative of a new young generation which is strong, which is cool, and finds the opportunities and doesn't lose the desire to keep on studying, to keep on creating and help our armed forces. Very well said. I think, well, it's not a thing, but it's a cool opportunity to tell the whole world about what's going on here and how people live now during blackouts. And my song was written during a blackout, and I think it's a cool opportunity to tell the people with my song and to give them understanding of what's going on in Ukraine and to let them understand that their help is very important to us during these times. I would like the whole world to hear how Ukraine may sound. There were Hutsuls at Eurovision contest. No one was speaking in Hutsulian dialect. And I want the people to ask what language is she speaking. The people need to understand that this is the way that Ukrainians speak, that Dovbush used to speak, our historic hero. And people have to understand that they to love their own, and we will have victory in all fronts this way. We have one of the participants joining us online, Yana. Please answer this question. Oh, hello again. I want to greet all the participants. I've heard all of the songs and I'm incredibly proud of how Ukrainian music sounds now. And obviously I will support everybody, whoever represents Ukrainian music. To me, Ukrainian music is the goal of my life. It's a mission of my life. I want Ukrainian language to sound everywhere, in the streets, in the cinemas, in the cafeterias, because we're worth it. Ukrainian music is worth it, and it's been a long time. It should have been done before. This is why I united Ukrainian language and English language in my songs, so that our languages fall in love with each other, which it happened in my previous track. And I've done a lot of English. I gathered a lot of English language comments who were asking what kind of language is that, and I found out that people find it interesting, the Ukrainian language, and through our music we can communicate with the world, to tell the world what's going on. And this is why I represent the track where I'm saying about the eternal things, about the questions to the God, and it is called When the God Shuts the Door. Please, friends, glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. I would like to say the following thing. answering directly to your question, I cannot say that it's like 100% that I should represent, because it's a little bit arrogant, but it will be identified by Ukrainian people. I was thinking for a long time whether I should go to the contest. Many people will say in comments that it's not a relevant time for the contest or something like this, but my opinion is when the enemy comes to the Ukrainian land, apart from wishing to take away the lives of our people, of our warriors, of our land, they will want to deprive us of our culture, our language, our identity, our instruments that will be demonstrated to the world. And as Ukrainians, we have to say it fair, we have to cry it out loud in all the platforms. And I think Eurovision is one of the platforms that we can announce, where we can announce about Ukraine. We can say it out loud about Ukraine. Hello, thank you for the question. I agree with Marina on a number of things. And I think that the worthy one should win, and it's the main thing. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for the question. I want to say that during my previous interviews, I already said that for me, Eurovision is not about competition. It's about us being colleagues, artists. We're strong by just sitting here and saying that I will represent or someone else will represent. All right, I'm sure everybody will take maximum effort to represent Ukraine. If we're talking about OI sound system, it's a symbiosis of electronic and folk ethnic music, is the symbiosis of wisdom and future, and this is why we're here. We want to show it to the world. I want to thank everybody. I think we will have no competition among the participants. We don't have to compete with each other. We have to compete with whom. We have to win over whom. Dear friends, do you have any more questions? Yeah, we have an answer now. Well, in short, we have to go to Eurovision. Was it your warden? Yeah, we have to go to Eurovision because we've written a decent song. And maybe people will like a decent song, so why wouldn't we go, right? Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Maybe someone else wants to answer. Dmytro Hladik, please. Drew Hladik, when you will change your equipment, I cannot say that we should go to Eurovision, but if fortune favors us, and then with our song we will be able to present to the audience the things that are happening in Ukraine, that we love our house regardless the blackouts. We're not afraid of death, and as the tattoos on our hands say, let it be. Thank you. Oh, hello everyone, we're TVORCHI. I want to say that I think all the participants, everybody present here, are worth representing Ukraine, because the main thing is to win over whom, as it was said previously. Our song Heart of Steel is the song about the people who face the complications in life, and no matter how hard is it, no matter how painful it is, they go forth and they smile. Thank you for your answers, dear friends. Do you have any more questions? There are questions, please. Good afternoon, Lenya Polishuk. I have a question to the organizers. What shelter the national selection will be happening, and what measures will you take to avoid the problems with power shutdowns? Maybe people will not have internet or power. How long will the voting last? Only during the show or further on? As to the shelter where the selection will be happening, it will not be announced. We do it for the security reasons, because we want to keep the maximum security level for the participants. And as to the voting rules are already announced, they are promulgated, so the voting will begin after the end of the performance of the last finalists. So after the spectators can evaluate the whole picture, only then they can take their decisions, and the duration of the voting will be defined later. But for sure we will take care for the whole Ukrainians to have the opportunity to vote. Dear friends, do you have any more questions? We don't have any more questions in this studio. I want to wish each and every one of you good luck. I want to thank the organizers for this event. We trust in our armed forces, work for our victory. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. Thank you.